gallery view. Here we are, live and direct to you all. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's kind of wild. That's kind of wild. All right, I'm gonna pause your
Oh,
share
cool.
real quick,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna do the thing. Let's do one of these. Hello and welcome. This comes up. Makes me laugh every time. Wire. Oh, dude. You got to send me like a clip of you doing something so that I could put it into this live wire intro.
Yeah.
Because that would be cool. And then at some point, we'll take a 6-minute break to debut a new segment on the show.
We have a new segment.
I'm just gonna be throwing up the most recent episode of Bathroom Bay Boys,
Oh, cool.
just to give us like a quick little break. Alrighty then. What is up, party people? Oh, hi, Michelle. So good to have you on the show. Glad you're here and watching at whatever time it is out there in Japan. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a wild show for you all tonight. We've got it in our heads that we're gonna be doing some rock formations. I don't know why I just muted you, Connor. I did not mean to do that. You may have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I wasn't saying anything anyway.
All right, so we're gonna be making some rocks. Yeah, some rocks.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very interesting to
Some geodes.
Some rocks, some geodes out of this wire that I have. I've been thinking about it since we talked about it.
Some precious stones.
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and share your screen now, Connor, you're good to go.
Cool.
You should be able to. Bum, bum. All right, party people. We're going to get into this gallery view action. I'm going to do it upright. Yeah, there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see. I think I changed a viewing setting on you for my own screen. It's like right on the stream, but on my video screen, I'm getting like the top right corner. Now I'm only looking at live, so I gotta do some of this real quick. How do I more? It's probably in like one of these crazy settings that I have no idea. I mean, it's not a big deal to me, honestly. I just will have to see what you're doing at approximately 1 minute and 45 seconds after you have already done it.
Oh, a big delay.
Yeah, it's a pretty large delay. Okay, that's not what I mean. Let's see, how do I...
Oh, whoa.
Enable. Oh, that's what it is. It's scale to fit. Maybe that'll fix it. Not really. If I do this, maybe if I make it bigger on my screen, I can see more. Classic. All right. Not a whole lot better, but we'll make do. I mean, it still looks good on the stream. Cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We're live and direct here for you tonight. And Connor and Ethan didn't drop off any records.
No. But I fixed my record player this week.
Ooh.
So I've been listening to every single record I own. So I couldn't have brought them to you because they were all melting hot.
Sure were, dude. Sure were. Maybe we need Dude, this is cool. Yeah.
Pizza's cool.
Damn, we're gonna listen to the Who album, because it's pretty cool. It fits the art theme. They got some paints on the backs, and they got some different style. Okay. Dude, we're gonna keep it in the Who. Might as well. Then if you know this album cover. You can't really tell because my blinding fluorescent light above is creating the gnarliest shine. Dude, we'll get some Rush in there. That sounds great. Oh, dude. So at art class today, the project this morning was to invent a new insect using different insect parts. Very fun. Honestly,
Dude,
it's like a really solid whatchamacallit, just like get the brain flowing kind of activity. It's like very nice. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. Kids came up with some really cool insects.
Yeah, what kind of combinations did we see?
Well, there was this one that kids like the sucking mouth parts, the long tubules. In order to get their food. So a lot of them actually had tube mouths in order to collect or eat their prey. And scorpion stingers was a huge hit as a defensive mechanism and also an offensive mechanism when catching their prey. Let's see, what else was really cool? One that I liked was known as the human fly. It is dubbed that because it looks similar to humans, And that's how it invites humans to come closer because we recognize our own, and so we go up to investigate, and then it uses its sucking mouth part to eat us. It was very cool. The human fly. Some other noteworthy creations. There's this one that uses its wings to wrap itself and turn it into a flower in order to attract its prey, which I thought was just super cool. Cause like that's also like camouflage, like get away,
Mhm.
kind of hide from the creature, but also is like pretty effective at you know getting your prey. So we had to think about what this bug lives in, where they live, what kinds of environments. So like how is their body affected by the environment? What eats them? So like defensive parts, what allows them to survive against their predators, and then what they eat, how do they catch their prey. So it was very cool to see everybody working on getting some bugs onto some paper. That was very cool.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. And then we were making bird shirts yesterday, so that's where that bird up came
Awesome.
from. I made a bird up shirt with a big old toucan on it.
Oh, that was a shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It looks like just a piece of paper, but in fact, it's a shirt. We were doing whatchamacallit, some heat. Oh wait, what? Man, I was talking about it today. I cannot remember the word that I used. The words that were given to me. But essentially, you use permanent marker, heat set. That's what it is.
Mm.
You use permanent marker on cotton, t-shirts, and then you use a clothes iron. Is that what they're called? Jeez, I'm at a loss for words today. Well, you use, something to get the the folds out of your nice clothes, the
Mhm.
iron,
No, I
and
got you. I follow.
you superheat, super dry the Sharpie on there so that it like permanently stains the cotton better and that it doesn't come out in the wash as easy.
Mhm.
So I might be making a bunch of shirts like that for an upcoming segment on the show. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to that. But that will be a good time. So yeah, we got some albums here. We've got Rush, Farewell to Kings. We've got this secret album that if you know this guy on the cover, then you know what we're listening to. And then we've got a Who album. It's just very cool. I like it. I like it a lot. It's very, very cool. Alrighty then. Well, I think it's about that time that I throw up the good stuff. And we'll get right down into some rock making. As you can see on the screen before you, Mr. Connor Burke is diving deep into building, drawing some geological structures, a structure that you geologists out there might recognize as bismuth. Which will
That
be
is correct.
It will be exciting to see how you incorporate the what's the name of the color of bismuth? It's like pearlescence.
Yeah, I don't know actually. It might be structural color.
Mm-hmm.
Probably is.
Yeah. Dude, what is that? What's structural color? Give us some more depth behind that nice vocab word you got.
Structural color is a really cool thing. So you have a lot of things that produce color. You can have light that's emitted as color, or you could have pigments, like your paints, your inks, stuff like that. And some of them combine the two, where you're using light through a pigment. But structural color is different than those, where it's microstructures on the surface of something, and it could be something like a mineral or a rock or something like that, or it could be produced by like beetles, or hummingbirds, octopus. So you can have your natural structural color. But so what it is these micro structures on the surface where light is hitting them and is bouncing off in strange patterns. One of the like best examples I think would be pigeons. When we see a pigeon walking and you see kind of on one side they'll have the kind of teal tint to their feathers, and on the other side there's a bit of a magenta tint. That's because they have these microstructures in the feather that are splitting the light that's bouncing off into those two colors, and they're misaligned. So if you are on one side, you're seeing this green reflection of light, and on the other side, you're seeing this pink reflection of light.
Oh, whoa.
So what's cool for the animal is, for animals, it's less, pigments are very costly to produce chemically.
That makes sense.
But if you're producing just one structure that will show a pattern, peacock feathers, for example, are done with structural color. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating.
Dude, that's cool, dude. That's a little nature nugget from Connor Burke here. Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, part of my thesis is an infographic on structural color.
Oh, dude, that's epic.
So I've done quite a bit of research on the subject.
Dude, very cool.
Yeah, there's so many animals that have this. A lot of insects.
Yeah, I bet a lot of insects do. They're just so wild. I mean, that was what was fun about, I had like a whole bunch of slides of different insects. I'm trying to find like the most cool, colorful ones, because people often think of insects as like, these black little bugs, or like brown little beetles, or or a butterfly. But that's like their only colorful bug that they know, right?
Yeah.
Or like a ladybug, because it's got, the red and the black. But there's so many insects in the Amazon that have just the most incredible colors. Just bright neons, like pearlescent, just shine to them. Some golden beetles, dude. Oh, this is very fun.
Yeah, some bugs like to keep it low key, like to get their camouflage on, and other bugs like to be extra flashy.
Exactly. So that was like, part of the discussion on, creating an insect, right? Like we could just create and, not pay attention to how it all works. But I think what's cool is trying to make it all work, or like come up with a story about the insect to make it work, versus just being like, oh, it's got dragonfly wings because I like them, and it's got ladybug colors because I like red, which is cool, but
Yeah, I was
it
gonna say
is
that sounds sick.
right. It would be an epic bug, but to like put a little bit more thought into it and really,
You just want to explain why it's an epic book.
yeah, exactly,
I feel that.
exactly. All right. Well, while I wrap my mind on how I'm going to turn wire into a rock structure, I'm gonna make an I'm gonna make an insect. I'm gonna make an ant to start off down here on the little screen, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to do this the best way. Cause oh, here we go. He's calling in right now.
Hey,
You're in here, Ethan. Where are you though? Did you text me? I got all wrapped up in structural.
oh, it's easy to get trapped.
Yeah, dude. I was all enveloped in how you were explaining the colors that I see almost every day. There he is. He's coming in. Look at that big old beard of his. Dude, you got a mop on right now.
I know. It's a shaggy
When's the last
mane.
time? Yeah, when's the last time you got a haircut there, guy?
I'm growing it out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been a minute, dude. It's I'm quarantining.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Long hair.
Long hair don't care, right? That's what they say.
I care.
Well, you know.
I care for
Maybe
long
that-
hair.
The geodes looking beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I heard a little bit of that discussion about animal pigments. I didn't
Oh,
know any
yeah,
of that.
Structural color. That's what makes bismuth the color that bismuth
Actually,
is.
yeah, I wanted to double check that if that's actually the case.
Dude, I mean, your definition that you gave makes it pretty compelling. But it also could be something completely different. And that's the beauty of science, everyone, is that you can admit that you're wrong and then correct yourself, and it's all good.
Yeah. So it is. Bismuth is normally a silver pink metal. This is coming from thoughtco.com. Not a sponsor. In its pure form, bismuth is a silver pink metal. When it is exposed to oxygen, it creates an oxide layer ranging in colors from yellow to blue. So that the varying thickness of that oxide layer is what's changing the color throughout.
Whoa.
And so I think the
That's
stone is normally that kind of pink purple tinge, and then you just see that kind of refracting with the rest.
That's epic. Epic. How's the volume on the music for y'all? How we doing?
Oh, it sounds good to me.
Perfect.
All right. I can never tell because I can't hear it in my headphones when I'm listening to y'all. So I never know what the levels sound like. So what do you got in store this evening there, E-Man?
Pretty excited. I thought for a long time about how I was going to do this, and I did some research.
Good. It's important to do research.
Honestly, I learned a lot about geodes.
Sick.
Awesome.
Two main different kinds of geodes: volcanic geodes and sedimentary geodes.
Ooh,
Did you know that?
baby. Those are some great great terms. Those are all some terms that are part of the rock cycle, how all rocks are created. Those are two of the three main rocks. If you had like a family of rocks, those would be two of the main.
What's the third? What's the third family of rock?
So we've got igneous,
Igneous.
right? And that comes from, do you remember, Ethan?
Pressure? I don't know.
Well, yeah, a lot of rocks are actually created through pressure.
Like granite?
Yeah. But mostly heat is what is also being applied. We've got sedimentary rocks, so that's mostly the pressure that's creating those rocks, right? Because it's a bunch of different types of sediment that are coming together and being pressed into one.
All right.
And then there's the metamorphic rocks that are out there. And those ones,
Those change their shape at will. Right?
Exactly. Whatever they are deciding, they're the ones.
No, what is metamorphic?
The metamorphic rock, they're created through different combinations that create igneous rock, which is formed through magma and lava and sedimentary. What's weird is when you look at the rock cycle, how many different pathways a rock can take to be created or recreated into a different kind of rock. But for metamorphic rocks, it's very specific. The existing rock has to be exposed to high heat and high pressure, or to a hot mineral-rich fluid. So it's like one or the other, and then it's going to go into a specific subsect of metamorphic rocks. I remember this because I taught a whole section on the rock cycle when back when school was a real thing.
That's awesome.
But it was super fun because I was getting all the kids to make cartoons of the rock cycle. So, all these rock, like some kids, they just go ham on it. They create these elaborate tales and characters using the rocks and their names to tell you how the rocks become. And it's, honestly, it's a really solid project. Really
That's an
fun.
awesome project.
It's great. Honestly, we should be using cartoons.
More
I feel like
cartoons
I've
in
always
school.
believed this. More cartoons in school. Do you remember those cartoon science videos that we would always watch? It was like the robot guy and then his scientist friend who would like kind of explain everything. I think they're called like Brain Pop or something.
Okay, that's sounding familiar. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like Brain Pop. It has to do. Yeah, it totally is Brain Pop. I nailed it. Brain Pop, dude. The classics, dude. The classics. They're still watching it to this day. They're watching
Brain Pop. All right. I'm gonna pull up a tab.
Pull up a tab, dude. Check out Brain Pop. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff. They have a great rock cycle video.
Sick.
But
I definitely remember that robot.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Big orange robot.
Great.
Yeah.
What other cartoons do we have in school?
In school? Well, so there's like, if y'all are unfamiliar with the smart boards, but a lot of classrooms have these like really like high-tech whiteboards that double as projectors and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a touch screen and thing. so like kids can use it by just like touching and tapping on the stuff. And there's this website that a lot of teachers subscribe to. Uh, oh man, what's it called? But it's basically YouTube, but for teachers. And there are a
Oh,
whole
cool.
bunch of different channels on it, and there's all kinds of different activities. A lot of them are song based, and they focus on just like repetition of all the things to like teach kids about basic processes, used largely in the kindergarten through fourth and fifth grade area.
Mhm.
Oh man, I cannot. Oh, it's Go Noodle. Maybe you've heard of it.
Go Noodle.
Go Noodle. But that's what teachers are using in the classroom, that has like cartoons. So like there are characters that are associated with Go Noodle that the kids get excited about to watch. So it's it's kind of cool. But sorry, Ethan, I totally glazed over all the
No.
research that you did.
No. Those sound like
So
great
you-
resources.
So you're talking about igneous geodes and sedimentary geodes. So give us
Well,
the old Ethan 1-2 on
I'll,
what we're
I'll
talking
let you know, and I'm no expert, but that geodes form in the spaces in between the rock.
Ooh, that's cool.
So when there's like a gap, so when magma is like boiling up and there's gas in the magma and it forms a pocket, there are minerals in that pocket that can grow into a geode. And those
Whoa.
ones, they grow in like long veins, like big growing tree limbs that like extend in the earth.
Dude, that's awesome.
Cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, big veins of just like crystal geodes. The pictures that I looked at were like really, really, I mean, like, yeah, they're wild. They're just really magical.
My friend Danny, we're watching. My friend Danny's a geologist, or he studied geology in school. That's what was getting him pretty jazzed. I would just love to hear what he has to say. If he is watching, I don't know if he's watching. I'll have to do a follow-up with Danny, the rock guy. He ran the Geo Club, which was the geology program club for University of Hawaii, and they would go. I mean, like, talk about a perfect place to study igneous rocks, like,
Right.
Active volcanoes, brilliant place. So they would do fundraisers throughout the year to get their students to go to the other islands to go check out some rock formations, and then even come to the mainland to check out some of the rock formations that the geology students of the islands had not seen yet, which is very cool. Some fun stories about those trips, that's for sure. Dude, that's cool. So pockets.
Yep. And like, yeah, so those are the magma. And then the sedimentary ones are like in limestone. And that's when they just kind of erode. And then those will fill.
Uh-huh.
So I learned that. I learned some other stuff too. There are different kinds. There's like an agate. And then there's the amethyst. It's like the purple, like, right? Like, that's kind of, I think, a really classic dark purple geode. But I think I'm making an amethyst geode.
Oh, very cool.
That's my goal.
Nice. I'm just building an ant right now because I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Yeah, it was really hard. What I'm doing is kind of an interpretation, I think.
Yeah, that's what I think I might have to do. on this stream is kind of interpret what I like that language that you use, like these big tree limbs of these veins that are like running through the earth. So I might run with that, but
Cool.
that might turn into a giant tree, which is not a geo.
Hmm.
So what else have you been up to this week there, Ethan? The red tide is insane still.
Ooh, dang.
It is gnarly, gross, dirty bird water out there.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Hoping to get in the water this weekend.
Well, actually, good news. There's swell this weekend, so that might be a
Clean it up a
possibility.
little. All right.
From what I've noticed is that afternoon, at the higher tide, that's when a lot of the bloom starts to come back into the coast.
Okay.
In the mornings, at the lower tide, it's a lot cleaner.
All right.
So we're trying to get out there, dude. You got to hit it at that
Early.
low and early. Saturday's the day that the swell picks up.
All right.
Significantly. I mean, like significantly from a 1-to-1 swell today.
Yeah.
It'll jump up to a 3-to-4 on Saturday. Tomorrow's going to be like 1-to-3.
All right. Saturday sounds like the day then.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Oh my gosh, dude. My cousin Colin drove all the way to Santa Cruz to San Diego.
What?
To buy a surfboard.
What?
Earlier this week.
Wow.
I know it sounds crazy, but he
Sounds fun.
He went to go visit a buddy down in LA and then was just like, I'm going to drive a little bit further to San Diego because that's the kind of guy he is, to go get himself a surfboard. Which is cool. Although, I'm a big proponent on supporting local businesses out there. So I was a little hurt to hear that he went all the way down to Southern California to get a board to surf Northern California waves. But that might just be my own bias. Oh, Connor, I don't know if you saw, but this was placed on my windshield last Saturday.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, the print that E-Man made last week.
Oh, let me see.
And on and on and on.
And on and on and on and on.
That's right. And on and on and on and on.
And dandel on.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's cool stuff, dude. Thanks.
Glad you got it.
Dude, and wait, you need to tell me more about these stickers.
All right,
There was
a sale for making stickers. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's just put a little sticker out. And it's just got all the little things. You know who that character is?
I recognize him.
Yeah.
Take a look at this. Oh, that's Mr. Natural.
That's Mr. Natural.
That's who I thought.
Keep on trucking.
Yeah, keep on trucking.
And then what numbers do we have here? What
Those are just some numbers that are kind of behind the little squiggles that, it's a little code.
It's a code?
Yeah.
Do we need our
code
Ovaltine,
confirmed?
Our Ovaltine decoder ring to decode the code?
Yeah, you might need the ring and the Ovaltine.
You'll definitely need the Ovaltine too.
Is it ACAB?
That's right.
That's what I thought. Dude, that's cool. ACAB?
No.
And then of course we got the classic 93 to infinity on there.
Yep. Those are all the little bits.
Yeah, dude, these were sick. I was not expecting to see these tucked away up there. Very cool, dude. Very cool. I hadn't been slapping them down anywhere, but I've
No,
been
I don't put them
giving
anywhere.
them out.
Yeah, I just want to give them out.
I want other people to slap them down. Oh, dude, last Friday at art class, I was doing a street art kind of history lesson. Boy, was that a lot of fun. It got me right back into that headspace of all that cool street art we used to do.
Who did you end up talking about?
I actually couldn't just talk about one street artist. I had to talk about like some of the major names that are out there. I mean, of course I talked about Banksy because that's who really I was the most fascinated by, mostly because when I was in high school, I just liked his style the most. He had a clear message that he was trying to put out there, and I picked up on it, and it was sick. But I mean, you know, I talked about Keith Haring, of course. Like, you can't talk about street art and not talk about Keith Haring. Talked about, you know, because, you know, I'm trying to relate it to the graffiti artists in New York. So I talked about the upbringing of graffiti art into the main stage of the world, from just, you know, simple tagging to an entire movement. And then, so like talking about, you know, how did graffiti artists proliferate and like get around, you know, what's important is the symbology and the repetition of their name, which is important to them. And so, you know, thinking about that in terms of street art, you know, some people that come to mind when you think about things that are easily recreated and, you know, high repetition and like a lot of symbolism behind it. You know, got to talk about Shepard Fairey.
Nice.
And
Obey.
his whole obey thing. So we talked a lot about how commercialism influences the art world as well, and what's cool about street art is the anti-commercial aspect of street art. And so talking about that, talked about the street artist Blue, BLU.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Remember that guy?
Oh yeah. And what's interesting about him is he had heard that there were some art dealers in a city that he had recently gone and done a bunch of projects in, and they were going around and taking down some of his work so that they could resell it at auction. And so he went back into that city and destroyed every piece of artwork that he put up before they could get to it. Because he was like, no way, you can't make money off my art. I don't make money off my art. So get out of here. So like, that was cool. And, you know, talking about the 80s and the 90s, like, you know, Keith Haring, a huge name in the street art history, and also Jean Basquiat, going from just some wall paintings to then getting, you know, picked up by huge galleries in New York City and having massive displays and like kind of shaking the art world and what we knew about it. So it was cool. And then I had kids think about like, what messages, because we all have a story to tell. So like what stories are we trying to put out there? And I really liked this one student's message, because like we talked a lot about social injustice and how street art is like really good for opening up new ways to um, talk about these hard to talk about subjects. And he was reflecting on his life and saying, like he has a pretty sweet life. He's really thankful for it. And so he came up with this idea to just like, attitude of gratitude. So he made a big thanks piece. And if he was going to go into the street art world, he would be known as Thanks, reminding us all to be
Mr.
just a
Thanks.
little bit more grateful, And I was like, yeah, I was thinking about Mr. Thanks, dude. Thank you, Mr. Thanks. Attitude of gratitude, it's important. You got to recognize where you come from, too.
Mr. Thanks.
And who has helped bring you up to where you are. So, like, that was really cool. I was like, dude, that's so rad. That's awesome. All right, we've got the classic coil body right here. I could have tightened the segments so that they're a little bit more defined. But I was just so wrapped up in discussing geodes and rocks that I just was not paying too close attention on how tight my circles were. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, well, what do you know? That's the side of the who. We're going to give it the old flip. Hey, y'all with record players, do y'all notice that some records, whatever the guide hole is called in the record that holds it, you
Mhm.
notice that those are varying sizes for some of your records?
Yeah, I have some that are pretty snug.
Yeah. I got some that are super loose and fit on real easy, and then some that are like, they don't even feel like they're on. They're just like resting on the little nub. Just a little too small. Oh, dude, that's a real fancy bismuth you got there.
That's what this crystal is called, a bismuth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen bismuth before?
Yeah.
Bismuth crystal.
Yeah.
They're like little blocks of stacks of little shimmery
Exactly,
mineral.
dude.
Yeah, it. So talk to me about how minerals grow. Like, they kind of like multiply, don't they? Like, what about salt? Salt's a mineral. Doesn't like a salt crystal kind of just expand?
Yeah, I think they're just like they're building blocks, and depending on how they're stacking together, you just see that pattern repeated and repeated.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
still
all
like
about the.
kind of. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to add that it has a lot to do with the way that specific atoms
The
are
structure, the
cooling.
molecular, the atomic structure.
Yes. So how they're cooling and how that affects the bond of those atoms is what creates it. And then that repetitive cycle of the cooling and the way that it's affecting the specific atoms is what's creating those structures, because it's just happening over and over and over and over again.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Awesome.
that's awesome.
Yeah, but some of them are formed like we were talking about when, like in sedimentary geodes, when things are dissolved away. So like also how water is affecting those atoms and breaking some of those structures to create those crystalline forms. It's very, very cool stuff, y'all. Rocks rock. We're live in Japan right now. What's up, Michelle? I know I said hello earlier, but it's like you're the only one watching us. So, might as well talk to Michelle.
Hello, all the way over there.
That's the Shaw Bra. Justin's telling me about this game that he's picking up. Clubhouse 51. Are you familiar, Connor?
No, I'm not part of that club.
You're not a part of that club. I know nothing of this game. Oh, no, I do know this games. It's the Clubhouse 51. That's all the classic games. The classic games on Nintendo.
The game of mini games. I do know that game.
Many one games, yes. The 51 different Clubhouse games that you can play in your Clubhouse, which is cool because they got Bridge on there. When's the last time y'all played Bridge?
I've never played Bridge.
Never in my life. I always wanted to learn.
We've never all played Bridge together?
You know how to play?
Yeah.
What? Oh, no.
Oh my gosh, dude. Next time we're sitting in a room with a deck of cards, you tell me to tell you how to play Bridge.
All right.
Well, I know a variation of Bridge.
That's fine.
But essentially it's like the same thing. But they also have cribbage as well in it, and a whole bunch of other kinds of Clubhouse games. It's very cool. I like when Nintendo does that. So, all right, give me your honest opinion about the Bathroom Bay Boys.
Oh, loved it. All the segments. Really entertaining. It was pretty classic.
It's got a real home movie kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that. It's cool stuff. The one thing that I told them that they needed to do, and this was so that I can put it on this show, but it's Nathan utters a cuss, and I told them they need to bleep out that cuss so that they can be a little bit more family friendly. So that was my one thing that they needed to do. But the music, dude, it's all from GarageBand.
Great.
I'm sure Ethan, you recognized some of those little ditties that were in there.
They did sound kind of familiar.
Dude, I'm pretty sure one of them, the first one is a Nature Ned theme.
Oh, nice.
I think that's the theme of Nature Ned, which reminds me, we gotta
get back.
We gotta do that.
I know.
You know how many people ask?
Still,
ask me?
I know.
To this day, hey, when's episode 2 coming out?
You're right. All right.
We
should do something on the rock cycle.
I would also love. Oh,
That's a good idea.
That would be super sick. Actually,
that's a really good idea.
A lot of fun. we have a lot of cool rocks that are out here on the coast.
Yeah.
Because we have both, dude. We're part of the Ring of Fire, so we can find igneous rocks out here, dude. And metamorphic. We can find them all here.
Well, that's
Even-
episode 2.
Even bismuth.
Well, actually, I don't know about this.
Could you imagine finding like just you're digging in you're mining in some rock casually, and
As we do.
as one does when you're out and about, and you strike into this purple maze. What do? You've never seen this before.
What do? You're standing in the purple maze.
You're standing in
What
the
do you
purple
got
maze.
going on?
You can't peel your eyes from it. The sparkly rock is too cool.
First thing I do is I do a perception roll. Oh man, yo, I'm also super excited for Saturday, y'all.
Oh yeah, we're getting the bird herd back together.
Getting the bird herd back together. That's what I'm super excited about. You know, maybe we'll have to commandeer the stream and do a live stream of the bird herd.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No. That's only a joke. Although Rose would think it would be awesome. And I know it would be awesome. But that's our campaign. No one needs to listen to us. We're not crit roll. That would be sick. Looks like your folks are watching. Hello there, Trish and Arthur.
That's
Welcome
great.
to the show.
Glad they made it on.
They're trying to tell you something.
To get a haircut?
No, in
Your
the
grandmother
chat.
was a bridge master.
Oh, my
Oh,
grandma was a
yes,
bridge
yes.
master. I knew that. Bridge master.
So you have
Bridge
genes.
master.
You have the genes of a bridge master.
You have the ability.
It's just it has yet to be awoken within you.
Well, I'll learn.
You got to. You have to do right by your family's name. Dude, you know what game I want to get into? I want to get into Go.
Oh yeah, I've never played Go.
It's it's like the predecessor to chess and all that good.
Yeah.
I just think it's sick.
I think I have a Go set, but I
Do
don't
you?
know if I've ever played. Yeah.
That would be very fun. I would be super down. Super down. Yeah, that bismuth is coming along there, Connor. It's looking real sick.
Thank you. Yeah. Just adding in some color. I should be going over everything a little bit more, but now I'm kind of just going all over the place.
Looks great. It's epic.
That's like, I feel like that's the nature of minerals.
Yeah.
is
Yeah, that's what I was
there-
gonna say before, is like it's so wild that like there's so much order, but you do get like these chaotic bits.
Right? It's just like,
It's organic.
yeah, organic. That's a great word. Ethan, in other news, how's the Oakland Unified School District looking for the start of the school year? Any updates?
Start of the school year is August 10th. It is beginning as a distance learning scenario.
Hmm.
And my understanding is that there is pressure to open the district, kind of. Yeah. That's kind of how it feels. So yeah, that's what's going on. I don't think teachers have some demands. It's a point of contention at the moment.
Yeah, totally. Over here, first day of school is August 13th. Starting off distanced, and then moving towards hopefully opening, but I mean, everyone is just kind of playing it by ear, really.
Yeah.
I mean, San Mateo County is about to get put onto the watch list. Did you
Really?
see that?
No.
We need to total 100 new cases today and 100 new cases tomorrow. And if we hit those numbers, then we're being put on the watch list and going back into lockdown.
Wow.
Yep. It's wild. It is wild. Oh, Justin's watching. He wants to know when NatureNet 2 is coming. Oh, Justin, it's always been in the works. But when it's coming, well, hopefully sooner than later. That's my
Sooner than later.
Sooner
gotta-
and then later.
¿Por qué no los dos? So Connor, tell me, do the pups have any new quirks that they're developing?
Nothing extremely new, but they can find they sniff out bismuth.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they mine bismuth in my backyard.
oh, they're miners, huh? They're about
They
to
are,
craft, are they?
Not of bismuth, but we do have gophers in our backyards, and they are very content to find them.
That's hilarious. Really getting into that lawn, huh?
Yeah.
Still working on that ant.
Yeah, just getting the legs together. I keep getting distracted by all this fun talk that we're having. I'm not really paying attention, but I got the legs. I just need to attach them and then make some antennae, and then I'll be again still trying to wrap my head around how to create a geode out of wire. I don't think I have enough wire for it.
It has to be an interpretation.
Exactly.
Yeah. I looked at
Still thinking
some
about
quartz
how.
crystal. What you were talking about at the start of the show, like the iridescence. It's like what it's so hard to capture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this song was the Who's answer to "You Can't Always Get What You Want." Can't always get it. Got to get used to it, yo. What's
It's interesting.
really cool?
yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to talk about how music from different times has relevance. Like,
Even today.
yeah.
Even today. I was going to say something along those same lines, actually. I was going to say, like, I think it's cool that, you know, any age that you are, you know, and you listen to music from different eras, there's like this feeling that you tap into that you can appreciate. I was talking to some kids about music from the 80s, and I was showing them this this other group that's not from the 80s, but they kind of springboard off of that feeling that the 80s had in some of their music. The band is called Video Age, and the album is known as Pop Therapy. They just really capture that nostalgia within it. It's like very chill, kind of like it's not like as crazy as some 80s music can get, you know, like all that good hair metal and stuff. But just like one of the students was like just so into some 80s music, you know, from like all over the place. And it's just cool because she's only 13 years old. Right? So like she hasn't even really been around for too many musical decades. You know, I was talking to Justin the other night and we were talking about 1998, and a lot of good stuff came out in 98, you know. And just like in the 90s in general, like tons of music came out then. You know, I think we're going to see a whole bunch of new music coming out.
I feel that
this future decade, 2020 to 2030. Holy cow, there's going to be some intense music.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of music.
Already, dude.
Already. Yeah. I feel that. I know. Interesting. The last 2 decades of music have been so unique. I feel like not very much like the 2 preceding them.
Mm-hmm. Right? It's so crazy. Oh, you know what movie stands up to the test of time, dude? A Bug's Life. Totally a different topic, but oh my gosh, yo, A Bug's Life, incredible.
I also love that
so
movie.
Good. It's also so crazy to see how far movies have come, like Pixar movies, like from where they were to like what they do now. So like A Bug's Life came out in 1998, you know, great year for production. And then you look at like Moana, which came out in what, 2017, 2018. You know, like 20 years after. And like there's a scene when they're in Bug's Life, they're drinking water. And like I just remember as a kid, like, oh man, wouldn't it be so cool to just have a big old little droplet of water that you can just slurp up, and then that's it.
Yeah, I remember that.
They totally like create this water, right, that you see, and like, you know, you're fascinated by it as a kid because it's like this animated water that they like do really well. And then you see where they are now with Moana, and like, holy cow, the water in Moana is incredible. The amount of time and energy and like the team to create the water in Moana,
Wow.
ridiculous. Like, did y'all see the digital short Piper?
I think I did.
Dude, if you haven't, if any of you watching have not seen Moana or have seen the digital short Piper that I think was before Moana, man, that water is real, 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 the realest of real. And it's so incredible. But like Bug's Life is in 480p, and it's still so good.
Wow.
Like, it looks great, you know, for being in such a lower resolution. Like, it looks great. You know, the expressions that the characters have are like, you know, they've definitely come a huge way since then, but even then, like, dude, Pixar do an incredible job, yo. Shouts out to Pixar. Any of y'all people watching who work for Pixar, you know, this is a pretty sick creative team that we got going right here. We got a lot of cool things that we talk about. You know, if you ever
Before, yeah.
want to just like have us come and hang out and talk to your teams about just anything, get their minds rolling. You know, we're some cool people to bounce ideas off of. That's my plug. All right. No worries. Now's probably a good time. We're about an hour into the show. If you're watching, Connor, I'm going to pause you on your screen. We're going to do a quick little intermission debut new segment. The Bathroom Bay Boys will be featured on this show. It's a creative channel. You know, that's what we're doing here on Live Wires. We're creating, and so we want to showcase some of the creations that have been made. You know, like sometimes it's a video project that you get into, and that's, you know, what keeps you sane, is making these little videos. So if you don't mind, I've got a little ditty for you. All right, party people, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break to enjoy this new segment on the show, Bathroom Bay Boys.
Trish and Arthur are watching. My friend Michelle is watching. So I know it's 3. Everyone.
Vlogging. They're vlogging. We're on our way to switch the. Why are you telling them? We gotta update our. No. We don't want anyone knowing where we're going. Oh, we can't tell you where we're going. Yeah. It's a surprise. Ethan's excited. He's gonna be a vlogger now, and since he's gonna vlog, he's excited. Are you ready? He's camera shy. He doesn't like the camera. He's shy. All right, we're about to go. All right, I can't tell you what we're doing. There's a hit. That's the hit, aren't they? There are no hits. Oh, that's stupid. What are you doing, Franklin? Bro. gonna be on our vlog now. You can't be one of those people that just leave that.
Dude, Budgie, why is he complaining? Why is he whining?
Because he's not moving. You have to pick it up, Jared. Break to the wall.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, he wants to keep walking. We have to keep walking. Keep on.
Great vlog.
Almost there. We did it. Straight to the top. Screensaver worthy.
Welcome to the vlog.
What's up?
We're golfing. We're getting with it.
Ball it. How far did the ball go?
Okay, here's Jared. Let's see how well he does.
Alright, the game is name a destination and drive there with no maps, no explain. Do you have much right now?
Wow, what's my friend? Where are we at? Don't hit that first.
Going up Lombard Street.
Yeah. Very iconic. Oh, here we go, baby. Oh, very tight. Here we go. Woo! Yeah. Oh. And we did it. Jared has no idea where we're at. He is. Oh my gosh, where are you taking us? Jeez, Jared, where are you? Yeah, because what? Left is a dead end. Of course it's to the right.
Has to be to the right.
We're both dead ends. Oh my gosh. Where the heck are we? I made this chicken salad sandwich. Oh!
You gonna taste test it?
For the vlog!
That was good.
I know it's good. I made it.
All right, y'all. That's the show. That's it, dude. That's Bathroom Bay Boys. Like and subscribe, y'all. Like and subscribe. It's a good time. It's a good observational kind of show. See how these two young men observe themselves.
When's
Yeah.
episode 2 coming up?
This Sunday, check them out. Bathroom Bay Boys every Sunday. I don't know what time they post them, but yeah, dude, they're they were telling me a little bit about this new episode that is coming out. I can't say too much about it, but what I can say is that they're very excited for their 15 subscribers. They have 143 views on the Bathroom Bay Boys, so they're feeling pretty hot off the press.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah, It's gonna be a fun thing.
It's original content, independent,
The one thing that I want
underground.
I want to do the same thing over and over and over again in all of their videos.
I love all the segments. The Lombard Street segment is so good. I've never been down that street.
What?
I know.
No.
Never.
You gotta be joking.
I think so.
Dude, what?
I know. I don't even know where it is, really.
Dude, what? If I was going to ask anybody about where something is in San Francisco, Ethan, your name comes to mind first.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then it's Connor, because Connor's spent a lot of time in San Francisco in recent years.
Truly.
I feel like he's got a pretty firm grasp on, the city itself.
I've walked
Would
around.
you concur?
I walked around.
But Nathan, honestly, is a really good resource for places to go in the city, because all that guy does is walk around.
That's true.
He just walks, dude. When he was working in the city, he was going and just straight up just walking around. He would show up to work like 2 hours before work started and then just walk around the city.
Great.
Nice.
It's a
That's
great thing to do.
Maybe not all the time, but there are definitely some times he would go in super early just to go walk around. One of our cousins from Michigan was hanging out with Nathan, and they walked like pretty much like half the distance of all of San Francisco. They walked from, I want to say they walked from City Hall all the way to Pier 39.
That's a good one.
It's a good solid jaunt. Our cousin was not too stoked.
I wasn't vibing with that.
No, definitely not.
That's a trek.
Dude, that is a trek.
Yeah.
This is incredibly far.
I like the segment where they got lost on Russian Hell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great bit. I think my favorite section though is Nathan Cooks Food.
Oh yeah.
Definitely interested in having that being a recurring segment.
They received one dislike on the video because the person was like, Nathan didn't cook.
Well, give the people what they want.
Yeah. So maybe, in this week's Nathan Cooks Food, we'll see some food being cooked. But at the moment right now, I believe it's the same style, which I thought was hilarious. I thought that was great. Just a real classic. Some classic kids, yo. Just doing some goofy stuff.
All right, we're gonna dive into it. I'm gonna start laying some ink down.
Dude, whoa, you're ready.
So it's a simple. I have a two cut setup, and I was inspired by the amethyst geode, which is like a cut, but also by like geodes that are like you have to break them open, and then you have just like a kind of like little portal that you find.
Yes.
I got those two there. See what it can do.
Yeah, I'm still on this ant. The antennas are giving me quite the run around. Oh, there we go. We got the wonked Titans. And there we have it, y'all. Another ant for the series. Ba-da-dum. You know, it says it took me about an hour to make this ant, but I will tell you, I can crank them out a lot faster, and I should be a lot faster at this point. All right, dude. How? Like, so if I was gonna do bismuth, I could just do a whole bunch of squares,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. But like, that's like cool. But I feel like it loses. Yeah, it's hard to, you know, bismuth is a lot of its structural color as well. They've got, it's just got such an interesting look to it that it's like, if I was just do a bunch of squares with this black wire, well, I'm afraid it would look more just like a bunch of black squares than it would bismuth. But that's just me. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I should have prepped some wood blocks to do some mounting. That's what I should have done. Because that actually, now that I think about it, that would make it a whole lot easier. And then I wouldn't do just bismuth. I would do some other shapes too. Because I'm thinking like, man, how do I get this thing to stand? But if I had a wood block that I was working off of, you know, then I could just have these kind of freestanding pieces of wire mounted into it. It'd be very sick. All right, Ethan, why don't you give us a rundown on how you, sir, make a print?
Well, I will tell you right now, if you can see on your screen, I've rolled out some ink, and I think what's it called? The gradient like this? I needed help on an art term, Connor. It's an ombrage?
Ombre.
Ombre? That's what I thought. An
You
ombre.
got it.
Oh, I love the linoleum gradient blends. There's
Pretty
something so satisfying about it.
We're gonna see how this turns out. So yeah, they create a nice layer of color. I'm doing something a little different. I'm not putting any ink on the very end of the roller because I'm gonna have it be white there. I think I'm gonna see how that looks because like I kind of want to look like some light is shining through my cut amethyst geode.
Epic.
Right. So we're gonna see how this, and I'm gonna I have my little center circle plate that I've cut out. I'm gonna roll it around and try to get around. Could roll it right across and get like a cool straight up and down, but I kind of want to do it center oriented. So we're gonna see.
Cool. All right, now we have control of the bismuth.
Oh yeah, Connor. Whenever you're ready, if you wanted to share again, or you could take a break from the share if you feel, and we could bop back into you while we watch Ethan lay out some prints.
Yeah, let's watch this spin.
The spin has already proved a challenging method, so it's gonna be a little tie-dye this one, but that's part of the experimentation. I think geodes are pretty forgiving, which is nice. You can always do a rinse. Also, I think the surface that I'm rolling on could be a little firmer.
Is that just a personal preference, or is that like, what are you noticing?
No, it's actually, I think, a technical. What's happening is my surface is bending, and so it's not allowing me to roll my ink out evenly. Honestly, which is not what you want. But that's okay. This is gonna be a little bit of an experiment. Probably gonna give everything a rinse. I'm gonna get a harder surface. We'll continue. Let's take a look at this one.
Dude, it's looking very cool.
Thanks. Let's see it in there. Cool.
Yeah, dude, that's sweet. Ooh. That was a loud knock.
We can work with that. We're gonna work with that. Let's see here.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Thanks.
I see what you were going for with
Yeah. We're gonna give it another good old try here in a second, but I'm gonna give this a rinse and get another little surface.
So what are you rinsing? What is that? What are you working on? What are you using? I've never made a print in my life. What am I even looking at?
You talking to me? What am I using? Oh, all right. Let me give you a little tutorial before I go rinse. Right here, this is an ink roller. So you apply the ink to your print from your plate using the roller. This is a little plate that I'm using. And I've applied my ink. And this is the linoleum sheet that you cut. That's kind of the stamp material. And that's the side I've cut. And you have to use some knives, some like carving tools.
So do you know why they're called prints, what you're doing, and not why it's a stamp, even though it's a similar process? Well, not necessarily process, but like the action that you're doing and the art that you're creating.
Yeah, why they're not called? No, I actually don't know. That's a great question. Do you have the answer?
So with stamps, it's like a top down kind of thing. So like the thing that is making the image is facing down towards the paper, whatever you're stamping, right? Because like you're stamping, so like you're actively pushing.
Oh, but when you do a print, you lay it out with the print facing up. Interesting.
And so you're pressing down the paper onto
the plate.
Interesting. And that's what makes it a print.
Well, then what I just made was a stamp because I did a top-down press on this.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is cool. You could totally do that. And, when I explain it to kids, it's harder for them to wrap their heads around those terms, because what you're carving on is the plate.
Right.
And you're applying ink to the plate. And so like when you're printing, more often than not, when they think of printing, they're thinking about, a computer printer, some sort of form of that, and like when you talk about a printing press, they're not, they don't really have
a concept of that
experience, or concept of it. So like when I talk about it, I'm saying, like casually, we're making stamps, but we're not stamping anything.
Nice.
Because it's like, it's incorrect to call prints stamps because it's a different process that you're doing.
That's very cool. I had no
But
idea.
for tangibility's sake for the kids, it's a lot easier, I feel, for them to like associate it with that.
I feel
Because
that.
it makes a little bit more sense to them.
Let me go rinse
and
my
like-
stamp real quick.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so what I did, I'm making some squares because bismuth is cool. And I'm adding little tails because I do like the wood block mounting thing. So I'm using actually a bunch of my extra wire pieces to create these repeating square patterns that I think look cool. And then I'll mount them onto a piece of wood that will hopefully make a collection of these little square figures really sick. I'll do a big one with some of the bigger pieces of wire that I have, but I've got a lot of this extra line around bits that I think I can use. I'm gonna save this one. The more I use this pair of pliers, the more I feel like the teeth are separating. You see this, Connor? You ever have experience with pliers that do this?
Mm,
See that gap in there?
I get it with the wire cutter bit because I wear that part down.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but then I was like, well, how would it create a gap if it's, if you're wearing it down, essentially taking away from
Mhm.
the thing? Like, you think it would be getting even closer together, but since its usage, I've only noticed it get further and further apart. But I also noticed that one of the what do you call it? I guess one of the fingers of these needle nose pliers is cracking.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's like a straight up crack forming right at this little edge right here. Wild. Oh my gosh, we've been chilling and it hasn't been a new record on in like 25 minutes. We're gonna say adios to the Who and put on an album that we all know and love. Maybe this is a better hint for some people. Yes, a better hint. It's hard to get the whole piece. Ethan, do you recognize this one?
That's Zeppelin.
Yeah, you know it, baby. Do you know which album?
Is it Zep 4? No, it's not. What is it?
Oh, you got it, dude. It's definitely Zeppelin. Actually, I don't know the name of this album. I'm such a poser. But this has some good old classics on it. Give this puppy a little wipe ski. Did you do any more of those and on prints?
Not yet. I was actually going to roll some out tonight. I'm about to do a few more color, and then I'm going to rinse the plate, and I'll switch to black.
Nice. Black ink on white paper.
Always fresh.
Such a fresh look, dude. I love it. Some of the kids were making prints this week. This one student made a pangolin print.
Awesome.
Cool.
so legit. Like the scales came out so well. It's so cool. But they decided to opt for the gold ink because it was closer to the pangolin's natural color, which I thought was pretty rad. Even how do you pick the colors for your prints?
Well, in this instance, these were the colors that I had, were the blue and red and black. I probably would have tried to use white had I had it. For this piece, I feel like it's, I looked at a lot of really amazingly vibrant pictures of geodes this afternoon. There were some really cool blue ones. None of them really had this kind of a layout, I would say. So that's going to be an interpretive element, but I still think all the gradients of color will certainly hold true. This is why we wear paint clothes.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Extra crispy.
That's
Awesome.
sweet.
Thanks, man.
So you said these were going to be you had 2 plates that you were using for these prints?
I do. So my thought was that I would overlay this frame, which is a square where I cut a circle out of that would kind of form a little window on top of these colors. It's going to be on black, so we'll see. I mean, I do like how this is just as is.
Yeah, that looks
And
cool.
I will be losing some of it, so maybe with that in mind, I will try to enlarge in my little portal here. Maybe I'll just lay out a few of these.
Oh my gosh, I saw a dolphin this morning. Awesome.
Oh,
Love
nice.
that.
Magical.
Love to see dolphins. I didn't surf though. The waves were too small. But Montero was looking real glassy. I mean, like I said, too small. So it's pretty much just a beautiful lake out there. Some fishing boats, and then out of the corner of my eye, I noticed something just kind of blip onto the scene. It was down at the south end of the rocks, at Montera. And I feel like at this point I'm just super observant of my surroundings, especially when I'm in the water, because there have been all kinds of sightings out there recently of all kinds of different animals. And so, peak awareness is key. And so this little blip just flashed. I wasn't even looking straight at it. I was just looking in the general direction outward to the ocean. And I was second guessing myself at first because I was like, there's no way. Because I was talking to a friend and, she was saying how she had never seen a dolphin out there. And I was like, what? I was kind of amazed because, I got to also remember not too many people share my experience or have access to as much water as I do. So I've spent plenty of time observing the ocean, and I've been lucky to have seen a lot of creatures out there. And we're talking about this casually, and then I just see this little blip come up, and I was like, no way. We were just talking about dolphins. There's no way there's a dolphin. Sure enough, maybe
Wow.
5 yards out from some surfers who are chilling in the lineup, boom, little bottlenose dolphin just comes up, greets everybody. And I was like, boom, dolphin. I knew it. I knew it was out there. I thought I saw it. But the key difference in identifying sharks and dolphins is the way the fin moves in the water. For those of you that are unfamiliar, dolphins, they've got oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the term for what it's called for their tail fin and why it's shaped that way. But a lot of sea mammals have their fins shaped that way, where they're flapping up and down in this kind of motion to generate speed, as opposed to a fish, which moves its tail in this kind of motion. So because the dolphin's tail is like this, you'll know that their dorsal fins kind of come in this arcing kind of motion where it's coming up and down. There's more vertical movement on the fin because that's how they're swimming. Whereas the shark, because it's a fish, it's got a fish-like tail, so that dorsal fin is going to have a lot more side to side, a lot more lateral motion out in the water if they're swimming close to the surface. And so you'll know that, if you see just a blip of a fin, you're probably looking at a dolphin. Whereas if you see a fin out there and it's kind of just like moving around, then you're probably looking at a shark. But just pay attention to the way that that fin is moving. If it's moving in that lateral side-to-side motion, or if it's moving in that vertical motion. So that's what I'm always looking for. I mean, we were down at Martin's. Ethan, shortly after you left, we were still out there.
Yeah.
Saw some lateral fin motion at the mouth of the cove.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, dude. It was far
Man.
away, so I couldn't
Yeah.
really get a good
But you
look
paddled
at the
in?
size. Oh, 100%. I paddled in after
Yeah.
that. I turned over
Whoa,
to Austin and
interesting.
I was like, dude, we're out. Dude, get out of the water. We're getting out.
Dude, I was kind of feeling that day too. I was kind of thinking about it. For whatever reason, I was like, dude, I wonder if animals come in this cove.
Oh, yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
saw that seal, so we
Yeah,
definitely
Right.
know.
And I didn't really think animals. I really thought, I wonder if those big predators come in here. That seal made me feel confident though.
Oh, yeah. 100%, dude.
Yeah.
That's the main food source of the great white shark. I apologize, y'all. I have not been paying attention to the chat, so if you are talking to us, I don't know. I have not been looking. There's, Oh, I also didn't do a cross post, so I wasn't on the Fam Fest or on the Fly on the Wall art school one. And then we're encroaching on that hour 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sign off on hour 2.
Yeah. I think that's a good place for us to do. Oh my goodness, dude.
Whoa.
That looks epic, dude.
Dude, so sick.
That's so legit. Holy cow. You've been making moves while we weren't looking, dude. Dude, that's epic. It's very cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, I'm just going to be making a bunch of these repeating little square patterns like you got on your bismuth there.
Hmm.
And then I'm going to mount these pieces onto a piece of wood. But that's going to have to happen after hour 2. I'll have to do that at a later date because, part of the mounting it on the wood is I got to find a good wood block that satisfies my need. But I'm liking these square shapes. I think it looks cool. But that I see, that is dope. I would hang that up in a heartbeat.
Thank you.
Dude, Connor, have you thought about going to like Kinko's and getting some of your images like printed like super big?
Yeah.
Just a thought though. You just think about it and then
I always say I'm going to do it, and then I never end up doing it. So
You go to UPS and get it printed.
that's true.
yeah. Yeah. If you were to go in town, you could go to
One day.
one of these days. I would love some of your prints,
That's
dude.
cool. Here, let's try this. Do
Oh, that looks extra shiny.
I'm gonna do like this, and we're gonna do it like this, and we're gonna take it, and we're gonna go like this, just a little bit.
Dude, that's so sick. I'm always, talking to the kids about, because some of the kids bring in their iPads to work on. I'm just like, man, I got to pull the trigger and get one of these. I got to start putting in some hours into some of this work because it's so sick. to have so much control over everything that you see is just, it just makes me want one so bad. Maybe that's what I'll ask from Santa.
Santa, give me the power.
You know, we didn't get to the Rush, but this is easily a great song to close on. Big thank yous to We Will Get Through This for supporting this show and supporting all of us out there in these times. Please be sure to check out the website, wewillgetthroughthis.org, for any mental health resources. Just a lot of good material on that site for folks out there. So please, feel free to reach out, check it out, and get yourself some help, because now more than ever, I feel like it's so important to ask for help.
Truly. They're challenging times.
For real. And they're only going to get more challenging.
Yeah. I know. We got to make it a good habit to take care of ourselves and take care of each other.
Truth, dude. 100%. Yeah, get me in there. I want to get in there, Connor. Get me in there. I want to dive deep into that bismuth right there. I like having a topic that we kind of did a little bit more preparation for.
Yeah, that was great.
That
honestly,
was good.
It made it feel like it flowed a lot better. I definitely was way more distracted, though, from doing my own art because I was just so wrapped up in the conversation of it all. But that's always
okay.
something that I can work on.
It's so easy to get quiet while doing art, though. So it's good.
Yeah. That's, from where we were at last week. I was like, we were just so quiet. But that's because we were working so hard on what we were doing, so focused, which is cool. I love that in the art class, like when everyone gets focused and is just doing their own thing. Oh, music to my ears. Just everyone just scratching away at their scratcher.
True. That's a great sound.
It's so fun.
All right. Well, I'm going to sign off here.
Sounds good.
Thanks for the show.
Yeah, dude. Thanks
Epic
for
art.
being here. Dude, incredible as always there, Mr. Burp. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll catch you next week on the show.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll see y'all then.
Yeah.
Peace, my guy. Much love.
Peace, much love.
Talk to you on Saturday. Get the bird herd together.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Alrighty. Ethan, how we doing?
I think this is gonna be my last color print. I'm gonna lay out some black. I know you probably gotta sign off, but I'm probably gonna keep working, honestly.
I mean, dude, do what you gotta do to keep working. Keep, once you get the itch, dude, it's hard to stop scratching. I swear.
I agree. But I got a bunch of, I don't know if you can kind of see, but I got a bunch of these all laid out for some.
Yeah. Dude, that's great.
Nice.
Those things look so, dude, that ombre is so.
That ombre is so nice.
So nice. I'm gonna start using that word a lot more. I know it's specific towards the blending of color, but man, any kind of blend is an ombre to me.
Nice, nice. That's great.
But we'll listen to the end of this song before we sign out here. So, dude, tell me, how's Phoenix going?
Hey, things have been great. Like this week, taught yesterday, did we did poetry and also some origami and kitchen math, fraction math. Yeah,
Nice.
kind of what we were talking about earlier when we were talking about how songs are still relevant or like still even years later. We were really talking about that with poems this week, about how like things that are written a long time ago still feel really just salient and like and poignant and you know just how incredible that really is and what that means about how we are thinking as we kind of move through different time periods. Yeah.
That's cool. So who are some of the poets y'all were discussing this week?
We read a Maya Angelou poem.
Oh,
we read a Shel Silverstein poem called Colors. It was really great. We read I think William McKay poem called I Know My Soul. That was really a great poem. He was one of the Harlem Renaissance poets in like the 20s and 30s. And who else? Maybe it was just those three. But
that's cool.
It's great. Then we made some origami cranes. We did a little fraction work, and it's just been going really well. It's been nice to check in. We check in pretty regularly, which is like feels really good. And Monday was like cabin day, lots of games and songs, and like I learned a TikTok dance. That was really fun. Nice. Yeah, it's just been, it's not camp, but it's still been it's been fun. And tomorrow's the color celebration.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What time is that at?
1, but it's I think mostly just going to be photos of what went down, because we don't want them to like, have to do the color celebration live.
Yeah, that sounds kind of hectic.
Yeah, I think that'll be too hectic.
Well, very cool, very cool. Hope you all have a good celebration.
Thank you.
Of identity.
Thank you. I think we will. We've been talking about it, and it's great to hear kind of where everybody's at and how the youth are thinking these days.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I hear a little bit of it.
I know you do.
We get some good discussion in our class.
Yeah.
But like, that's one small population amongst many.
Yeah, it's true. But they're all the youth. Yeah,
they are. They are all the youth, and they're all trying to figure it out as we are figuring it out ourselves. Like, I talk a lot about with the kids how crazy I think it is that every generation is expected to learn from the previous and teach the next. Mm-hmm. And how this time right now is one of those really kind of 1 in a million moments where literally everyone, all of us, each generation is relearning how to coexist in this wild kind of situation that we find ourselves in. So it's like it's cool because it's like something that we're all doing together, and like it's like so incredible because it's like that's not how things used to be. Mm-hmm. It used to be like very clear and cut, like this is how you get to this stage and this stage to this stage and so on and so forth. And now it's like, forget everything you knew. We got to do things different. Yeah. And while we're at it, let's start doing things different. Yeah. Which is just so powerful because it's like, at the same time, it's like it shouldn't have taken this long for us to start actually making things different for the people that live here.
I know.
But
Here we are.
But if anything, it's like a perfect time because we're starting this whole new, it's clean slate,
Definitely.
even though it's kind of mucky.
But it's definitely an opportunity. I feel like this time could be a very valuable time.
Huge opportunity to create, to discuss, to come together, to form new communities. Like, I'm just so happy that we will get through this, reached out and, offered to help create some community in a new space. Like, it's just incredible. I'm really happy to be here in this wild digital space with you. And
Same, dude.
That's still listening.
With everybody who's out there, yeah.
Or whoever listens to this later in the future, maybe sometime next year, I'll go back and put in a solid, 20, 30 hours watching and kind of analyzing all this content that we've created together.
That'd be great.
Because it would be fun to see and to re-listen to all the thoughts and feels that were happening in this time.
Totally. It's a good capsule.
Yeah. And on that note, we'll sign off here. Thanks for listening, everybody. It's been a blast. We love doing this. We're happy to share our own art spaces with you and a little bit of our worlds with you all. So thank you so much. We will get through this. Please, 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 folks at home listening, check out the website if you need some mental health resources. There's a lot of really good things on there and a lot of good groups to find yourself a part of. We love you all. We hope you all have a great weekend. Here's to Friday, and we will catch you out on the flip side.